McLaren's dream season just turned into a nightmare, and Verstappen's comeback is tearing it apart. The 2025 F1 title race has just turned into a war. Austin was supposed to be McLaren's victory parade. They had the pace, the points, the momentum. Two young lions, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, are charging towards Red Bull's fading empire. But Formula One has a cruel sense of timing. Just when everyone thought the championship was safe in orange, Max Verstappen showed up with fire in his eyes and fury in his right foot. 3 wins and a runner-up finish in 4 weekends. That's not a comeback, that's a message. From a 104-point deficit after the Dutch Grand Prix, Max tore it down to just 40. 40! In a sport where the difference between champions and runners-up can be a single DNF, that's nothing. McLaren's biggest threat isn't just Verstappen, it's themselves. They built the fastest car on the grid, yes, but they also built a civil war in their own garage. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, separated by a few points, now race like rivals, not teammates. Each is trying to be the face of McLaren's future, each unwilling to play the support act. That's where Red Bull has the upper hand. Verstappen doesn't share, he doesn't compromise. He's the alpha, the engine, the entire operation built around his command. McLaren, meanwhile, is busy balancing fairness like a moral science project. In Formula One, fairness doesn't win championships. Ruthlessness does. Team orders? Too risky. Favoring one driver? Too late. They let the wolves run free, and now Verstappen is closing in on them both. While Piastri and Norris keep taking points off each other, Max just keeps collecting trophies. The math doesn't lie. 3 wins, 1 P2, and 66 points recovered in a month. McLaren isn't fighting a driver, they're fighting inevitability. After Austin, the title picture looks completely different. Piastri still leads, yes, but barely. Lando Norris sits just 26 points ahead of Verstappen. Max has taken 64 points out of McLaren's lead in 4 races. That's history being rewritten in real time. There are 5 weekends left, 2 of them sprint rounds. That's 166 possible points on the table. If Verstappen wins them all, which he's done before, Piastri would need podium finishes in every race, including at least 3 second places to stay ahead. And that's assuming everything goes perfectly. Spoiler alert, it won't. Piastri hasn't been on the podium for 3 straight races. Norris has been solid, but inconsistent. Meanwhile, Verstappen looks like a man who's remembered who he is. The moment he got that new Red Bull floor upgrade, everything clicked. He's not chasing anymore, he's hunting.
To know that you've got Max staying put, is that a massive boost for you and for the team?
Of course it is. Of course it is. There is a huge effort from everyone at the factory.
Here's the twist nobody saw coming. Red Bull's resurgence started not with the driver, but with a change in leadership. When Christian Horner left, many thought Red Bull's empire would crumble. Instead, Laurent Mekies took over quietly, calculated and absolutely ruthless. An engineer by heart, not a politician, and that changed everything. He didn't give big speeches, he made small decisions that mattered. Under Horner, the team used to run their engines at 80% on Fridays. It was a conservative approach, good for reliability but terrible for data. Mekies said no. From Monza onward, he ordered full power. That single call unlocked a new rhythm. Red Bull began every weekend ready, sharp, and confident. Pressure fuels Max Verstappen. While McLaren's young guns are still learning how to breathe in title fights, Max lives there. This is his home. His 5th championship chase feels familiar, chaotic outside, calm inside. He's been down before. In 2022, he was 46 points behind after Melbourne and still won by a landslide. This time is 40 and his car is faster. You do the math. When others see the impossible, Max sees opportunity. Every radio message, every post-race interview drips with quiet confidence. He doesn't brag, he doesn't panic. He just says, "We keep pushing," and then he wins. Oscar Piastri started 2025 like a revelation. Calm, clean, efficient, he looked like a future world champion in the making. But now, he looks lost. 3 races without a podium, a car that feels unpredictable, confidence slipping through his fingers. The worst part is, he doesn't even seem to know why. His radio messages sound unsure, and his qualifying laps lack the edge he had before the summer break. It's not a collapse, it's erosion. Slowly, race by race, the aura fades, and Verstappen senses it. Piastri's problem isn't speed, it's inexperience. You can't teach how to handle championship pressure until you're in it. Verstappen has lived there for half a decade. Oscar just moved in, and the walls are already closing in. He doesn't need to be perfect to win, but he can't afford to blink. In Formula One, blinking costs everything. Then there's Lando Norris, the joker in McLaren's deck. The driver who can be brilliant one Sunday and baffling the next. He's still in the fight, just 26 points clear of Verstappen, but his consistency is his enemy. One bad weekend, one pit stop mistake, and the Dutchman flies past him in the standings. Norris has the speed, no one questions that. But the pressure of leading a championship fight has a cruel way of twisting even the sharpest minds. His confidence lives and dies by Saturday qualifying. When he's on pole position, he's electric. When he isn't, he fades. That emotional volatility could be fatal for McLaren's campaign. The irony is, if Lando were out of the title race, he'd be helping Piastri. But because he's still close, he won't yield. And why should he? Every driver dreams of being number one. McLaren's biggest strength, having two elite drivers, might just be the reason they lose it all. Every great comeback has a spark. Verstappen came to Monza. That's where the upgrades arrived. That's where the energy changed. The team found rhythm again, confidence again. You could feel it in every pit stop, every radio call. The car felt alive, and Max was in sync with it. Austin just confirmed what everyone already knew. Momentum is back at Red Bull. When you have the best driver and the best engineers operating without pressure, you get dominance. Verstappen doesn't need luck, he just needs time. And there are 5 races left, 5 opportunities to write another absurd chapter in F1 history. McLaren, on the other hand, feels fragile. The car's quick, but the strategy isn't ruthless. The teamwork isn't unifying. The nerves are visible. It's like watching a boxer with a lead on points start backing away, just waiting to get caught by one clean hit. Let's break it down. 5 weekends left, 2 sprint races, 166 points on the line. Verstappen is 40 points behind Piastri and 26 behind Norris. If Max wins everything, Piastri would need near perfection to survive. That's the terrifying part. It's mathematically possible. No driver in Formula One history has come back from 104 points down to win a championship. Until now, perhaps. The previous biggest comeback? Verstappen himself in 2022. The man specializes in rewriting records that were supposed to be impossible. Piastri and Norris both have the faster car on paper, but the numbers tell a different story. Red Bull is efficient. Red Bull is relentless. Red Bull knows how to win when it matters most. The only thing standing in Max's way is time, and he's chasing it with fury. The saddest part of this story is how close McLaren was to glory. They had everything lined up: speed, teamwork, and youth. But in trying to be fair, they forgot to be decisive. Fair doesn't win titles. Strategy does. At some point, they should have backed one driver, chosen a lead, protected their points. But now it's too late. Choosing between Norris and Piastri now would fracture the team. Keeping them equal could hand Verstappen the crown. It's a trap of their own making. There's a feeling in Formula One right now, an uncomfortable sense of déjà vu, the kind that whispers, "You know how this ends." Because we've seen this before. The slow Red Bull recovery, the nervous rival, the inevitable Max Verstappen march to glory. Verstappen's comeback is symbolic. It's the return of a king who refused to be dethroned. McLaren, for all their brilliance, now stands as the last wall between dominance and history. And if you're betting against Verstappen, good luck, because when Formula One smells blood, it doesn't end in peace. The comeback is alive. The king is not done yet.